everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on Oasis Survival. It's me, I'm Named Gamer. How you guys doing today? We're gonna build some iron farms today in this epic episode. Not an episode. No, that's coined by Exuma. Today it's just gonna be an epic episode. We're gonna build some, like I said, iron farms up in the sky here. As you can tell, we are way up in the sky. This is actually Y249, or sorry, 248. That way we can build an iron farm at the sky limit, and then there's actually a couple layers going all the way down to the ocean, as you can see here. These platforms are indicating the bottoms of where we're going to build some iron farms, and we're going to build one on each side, so the east and the west direction. That way we can have sort of split apart, and then sort of a general collection area in the middle, like right about here. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got the new textures loaded up here, the 1.13 textures that Japa has been developing. So this is sort of like a modified pack for 1.13, since it's not technically released. It's a modified pack by Wells Knight from the Hermitcraft server. So we're going to fly back to our base, and I guess you can just kind of get a general sense of where we are located. So our new area is going to be way back there. And then we're just located right here. So it's got like a little mob spawner and stuff. And this is our nice little home. Awesome. So, we need to grab some gravel. We need to craft a bunch more concrete. Where's the gravel? Here it is. So we don't have all that much, but that's fine. We've got a bunch of sand that I went collecting for, and we're gonna craft a bunch of concrete, white concrete, as we'll use that in the design for the farms today. I really like just walking around the world and seeing all the different textures changed, especially the leaves. I have to give a lot of props to him for developing such a beautiful leaf texture. From a distance, it looks, like a leaf, like a cluster of leaves. And as you get closer, slowly more and more detail is revealed. And it's just such a beautiful texture to look at from this distance, I find. It'd be really awesome if there was some sort of randomness rotation in there so you could, change the rotation of the leaves. But I mean, it's still really awesome for what he's built so far. And I hope to keep updated on this pack, as it is 1.13, and the textures are coming out, and eventually. So they will eventually be like officially released into Minecraft. So I may as well get used to them now. I really like the wheat too. All right, so we're back up top here, and we're gonna start building outwards to make the iron farms here at the topmost layer. This is all the way at the build height, just so that we can make sure our calculations are correct going downwards, because we have a lot of space down there to work with. So in case we screw up the top here, we can always shift stuff down, but you can't shift stuff up. We're literally at the build height. So we're gonna start here at block 1300. We're gonna have to go 35 blocks in that direction, 35 in that direction. So this being number 1, and that'll give us an odd number of 71. The farm technically has to go 70 blocks apart, but 71 won't be a big deal if we get a beacon in the middle. And I do plan on putting a beacon or some sort of thing. And I don't even know what I'm going to really do yet for the design of it all, but I know I want a beacon sort of in the center of the whole thing. So yeah, let's go. So we're going to do 35 blocks. Got it all prepared in my hand. And I think it's actually probably a good time to just talk about what my plans are for this base, and sort of why I'm building and moving places. And I've had this in the back of my mind to build over top of the ocean for quite some time now. I think it's probably the best place to build in terms of what I want to build. And that's just primarily a lot of mob farms. So there's these iron farms, and I also want to build like a mob farm out here. I think it'd be a really neat addition to the base. And of course, over the ocean, there is no mob spawning, so that the rates are the highest they can possibly be. So let's go 35 from this. So we got to go 1, 2, 3. Cut 3 off of that. Nope, 31. Cool. So this is the distance between the two farms, and we're going to make sure that the sort of this block here is not technically, this is like this block here that I'm on right now, just because I'm OCD and I'm not too sure exactly of the numbers, but we're going to make it so that this block I'm standing on, which is technically this block here, to be the block where the villagers are standing. And then, of course, the doors one block over, just so that the villagers don't detect other villagers and combine villages and whatnot. You don't want any of that sort of shenanigans happening. So, I've got to grab a bunch of the concrete, build it out of concrete, and stone bricks, actually. Oh, sorry, not stone bricks, stone slabs. I brought guess I didn't bring a crafting bench. We've actually added a custom recipe to this server, wherein got slabs like this. You can combine them together, get smooth stone. That way, you know, this block is actually not technically obtainable in vanilla Minecraft. We've added a custom crafting recipe to give it to us. This is also goes for the smooth sandstone variants as well. We just and partly the reason why we do 4 like we have. And so partly the reason why we have 4 like this is because the sandstone variants, if you put the sandstone on top like this, it'll actually give you like a chiseled sandstone. So just to make it consistent, put 4 in and you get 2. So it's technically like 1 and then 2. So that was the thinking behind it. But we're going to need to craft up a bunch of these as they are going to basically be the trim of each of the iron farms. Wow, that is really trippy. I'm looking down there and you can see the shadow being cast onto the ground. And of course, this design is kind of like a spider-like shape. It's just being cast onto the ground. That is really freaky. I just noticed that as I was placing these blocks here. It seems to go... Well, I mean, it would make sense that it's basically... Oh, too far. Rip a couple blocks. Here we go. The farm, the first farm actually is all complete. Nice little weather here, all the way to the top of the world. It's kind of interesting. You can see sort of where it cuts off, and that's like the height of 256. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, we got the farm set up here. These are the little holding cells for the villagers, and we're just going to go in there now. It's all lit up. We are going to place down some water. This way the iron golems can fall into the middle. So actually, you know what? Let's remove the torches prior to doing this, because I don't want to lose all these torches, because we're gonna need a bunch of torches to build the other sections. And we've kind of got glowstone inside the inside the cells, as well as sort of feeding into this area so that mobs don't spawn. But kind of heard, yeah, you kind of heard that skeleton already. Use a water bucket from here. But yeah, I've been collecting a ton of concrete in between this recording and the previous. We need a bunch of concrete to build this, because I didn't realize it actually requires a lot more concrete than I was expecting. This took about 8 or well, let's say it took about 10 stacks of concrete. So that's quite a bit. We're just going to place all this water in, and then do the top layer. Alright, there we go. Now we just got to head over to the above layer. And we'll add the villagers in much later. As it stands right now, we'll just do the farm itself. The villagers will be a whole other issue. Well, I mean, we got to transport them from our base where we've got that villager farm, and transport them up into here. And you know how I mentioned earlier the design looks pretty cool, and that looks really cool. Like a diamond pattern almost. All right. That's right, skeletons die. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing up at the top here with this shape. This is just so the water flowing is sort of in the corners as well, because you can't technically do it in the corners and have it centered around this 3x3. It's very important that we have this particular shape in the middle. Sorry, in the corners. Oh no. Losing concrete. We're gonna have to go back down to the bottom and pick that up, actually, because every single piece of concrete's important to me. Although I have 2 shulker boxes full of concrete, it's not something I want to lose. There we go. Now the iron golems, whoa, will be falling all the way down through the next 2 layers that we'll build, and then they'll fall basically all the way down, and then they'll land in some lava. That's where we'll kill them and collect their iron. Alright, so there we have it. The second one is now complete, this one being the first. And I think it's actually pretty important now that we get working on putting some villagers in, just to make sure that the farm actually works and that the distance in between the two is good enough for it to function fully. So, to do that, we're going to actually do it with portals. And we're going to set up sort of a platform at each of these little holding cells. And each holding cell is going to require to 3 villagers. And so there's going to be 3 here, 3 on the other side, 2 on that side, 2 on that side, for a total of 10. So 6 and then 4, so that'll give us 10. And it's just going to be very simple to transport these guys in. We're going to build a portal here. And we have to build one in the nether, and then we're going to have to transport all the guys from our farm over. And we're probably not even going to try to take any of the librarians. We don't want those guys anyway. Alright, so we now have to go into the nether and set up a portal at these coordinates. So we've got 12, 3, 250... -157. So we'll do some sort of nether portal calculator and then figure that out in the nether. All right, here's the spot. -157, -20. And oh, it looks like it 1 block lower than I was expecting. Okay. And you know, I was actually thinking, what if instead of doing this sort of in each individual villager pen, why don't we transport all the villagers out that we need and then just distribute them as we need, rather than building up a new portal for every spot. So I might do that after I get this one finished, of course. And there we have it. We're in the village. Perfect. So let's head back, and then we have to build one now at the roof height also. Except this one is going to be the height of my pen that I've created. So it'll probably be around this area. So you know what? We're going to have to go into the overworld once again, create a portal next to the villager breeder, and then figure out where that is in relation to the nether. So we'll do... Let's just throw one down right here. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, where. Right. And then, in between, I don't know if I actually showed this in the episode, I built like a zombie trap down there. Okay, so this is going to be the pen, or sorry, the teleport, the portal to get to our nether portal. in the nether for transporting the villagers. So I'm going to have to go down and grab some more obsidian in the mine shaft here, and then we'll connect those up and then transport some villagers. Alright, so let's start getting some villagers here. We're going to take out these trapdoors and build sort of like a temporary setup thing here. Now, we don't really care which ones we get, as long as we don't get the librarians. That's all that really matters to me. Just open up the floodgates here, let a couple guys in. Okay, wonderful. So it looks like that was either a librarian or a cartographer. Oh, and they're all getting out now. Okay, whatever. We'll just let all these guys in then. Alright, so you guys are staying here. You guys are not allowed through. These guys, I guess we'll just distribute them evenly between different, Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. What is this guy? He's a librarian? Have any good traits, did he? Alright. Oh, that's even worse. Oh my goodness, this is all going down. This is all going to the... Oh, goodness. Okay, so we should have probably destroyed this portal. Oops. My bad. Okay. Now. How am I gonna get them up there? Okay, let's corral them all into one area. Like, I don't know. Oh, they are just everywhere, aren't they? You know what? I think it might be in our best interest just to kill them. Or let them run loose. And then work on getting the guys up top here. Put some new guys into the facility. I just don't think it's going to be worth our time to try to get those guys in. Alright here, so we're moving the villagers along quite nicely. I've decided to adapt it, as I had mentioned, to the sort of cell holding thing there. And we're just moving the villagers over to our third pen here. We got all three in. And this is working a lot better than the one previously with just one portal, as all the villagers are actually being transported from away, like from afar. So this is an easy way for me to move like 20 at a time, then transport them into where they need to be. But we gotta move our next villagers to the furthest away and over here. And I'll just show you guys how exactly I've been doing it, as this is sort of like, well, and since I don't want to spend too much time on showing the building process of it all, I figure this is probably one of the better ways of showing what I'm doing exactly. I don't really care what blocks I use, to be honest, and if I lose any, because, you know what, it's stone. I just go underground and collect some stone, and I'll have a lot of stone eventually when I get building a lot. So basically just, you know, you place your rails in our rails. Now, there was a glitch in 1.12 where you could actually dupe a bunch of rails, our rails, with slime blocks and stuff, but that doesn't work anymore, sadly. So, we're doing it legitimately now. I crafted all these rails. I wanted to dupe them because it's a lot cheaper. Whatever. I'll just show you guys here. So we're gonna go take a minecart. We just like throw it in, and hopefully we grab a villager. If not, I try it again. Grab one. Why aren't they? Oh. There we go. We got one. Okay, so then I just hop in here, push him out. Don't even power that. And then he goes all the way to the other side. Awesome. Okay, now that the stressful part is over, we can remove the rails, get rid of the scaffolding. Actually, is that an iron golem I see? Yeah, there he is. Now, we don't actually have a killing spot for the iron golem, so he's going to fall all the way down into the water. And then just sit down there and despawn. There he goes. So we're going to probably build like a quick ad just to kill them from dropping. Or maybe even build our collection system down there. But, you know, I think I'll just do like a basically just a flat area for him to just land on and hit and fall. Because I am using quite a bit of iron to build these rails and minecarts. So I don't want all this iron to go to waste, but I know that I have to make an investment in iron at the start in order to obtain iron later. So by using iron right now to make minecarts and rails and stuff, I'm okay with doing that because I'm going to obtain a bunch of iron through all this farming. Isn't that an incredibly awesome visual? Just to see up all through 3 layers of golem farms. So we're down here at the bottom. A lot has changed since the last clip you just saw. We got all 3 layers, 1, 2, and finally 3. And then now we're just working on sort of a packed ice trail into a collection system right here. Where the golems will fall down into the lava and die to the lava. And their iron ingots will be picked up by the hoppers below. And then we will get iron. None of the villages, that one nor that one, only the topmost layer has villagers in it. So that's where all these golems have actually spawned from. And if we were to head underwater, which we won't, but if we were, there's like 30 or more golems just sitting underwater. Because I didn't build this collection system until after I got these 2 done. So these ones don't actually have villagers in it. I'm gonna have to stock those guys up in a bit here. But yeah, so it's the golems have just been falling into the ocean, and there's just a couple of them underwater, just kind of sitting there, having protecting the underwater. But we have to create sort of this ice trail here, and to do that, we're just simply putting down some signs like so, and then 3 ice blocks. I think this will work. I haven't tested it yet. There we go. Okay. I wasn't too sure, because normally, I remember ice had to be on top of a block, and I wasn't sure if a sign was considered a block. Just place down the ice, and then we break it. Alright, and then the golems will fall all the way in. Now, you know what we should probably do is put some signs down, just so that we're not gonna destroy any of the lava when we get there. And then we were going to have a bunch of experience, or sorry, iron, which is what we were after this entire time. Awesome. There they go. Into the death chamber. Oh, and I fell into the death chamber too. Aha! There we have it. Some iron, which we didn't even have to mine. Alright, let's do this other side here, and then get working on putting some villagers in here. Look at that, the farm is already working. We got 2 golems there. There's tons of iron actually already in the chest here. We got stack and 11 already. And we are now transporting villagers to the different levels. So currently, we have villagers right there, 10 just sort of set up. Got 10 there, we've got 10 right there, and it seems... Iron Golem? Yeah, an Iron Golem seems to have spawned on the side of the platform. Not ideal, but work with that later. 10 villagers there, and then now we have to move 10 villagers to this location right here. Way back up here, and for whatever reason, the server having a lot of difficult like that. It's basically it is struggling so hard when it comes to Paralytra here. It's struggling very, very badly when it comes to loading in all the villagers at the top of the world. I honestly can't explain why. Actually, like, it's completely fine. Like, there's no issue with the network connectivity. It's on the same network as me, so I am not too sure what is going on. But it's just when I get to the top, all those villagers seem to cause the game a lot of lag. And this wasn't the issue at all until I did some computer updates to the server. So it's possible that that affected something, but I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, we're going to have a lot of collecting to do. Stuff will be all over this build, won't it? We got our pickaxe back, that's good. Try to get anything up on this layer. See, when I get to the top here, the rocket just continues to fly. And then, for whatever reason, it just land in the water because I will probably not. And pretend as though nothing ever happened. So, as I was saying, for all that, extend the platform just a little bit to compensate for the distance. That over there. Right here looks about good for me. Alright, we'll send the minecarts in, collect up 10 villagers. On. Yeah, I honestly don't know what it was. What's going on, why the server is struggling with all these villagers. There's not even that many. There's only about, well, 15 here, I would say. Maybe 10, not even. Don't understand why it's struggling so bad. So we're putting the final villagers into their holding cells here, and then all 6 iron farms will have villagers inside. And there we go. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Encase them in. Got to get rid of these blocks now. And I actually ran into a minor issue. I didn't light up one of the villager holding cells, and it was actually this one here. I didn't put torches on it, so when I came to sort of place the villagers into their holding cells, they were all zombies. So I had to go back to the overworld, back to my base and pick up some more villagers. But that wasn't too much of an issue. And as you can see, the golems already just flowing into there. Last time I checked, actually, you know what? Here, let's go take a look right now. We'll clean up that stuff off camera. Look at all that iron. How great is that? And that is not even, like, that's not even that much. It hasn't even been running that long. The villagers just got in there, so they're only now starting to detect. But if you look underground here, underwater, look at all these golems. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to kill them. And not that it slows down spawning or anything, it's just that there are just a bunch of golems underwater. Or maybe I could just leave them. I don't know. And one last final thing to remove here is the top of the world, where we've got the nether portal. And it kind of pains me to do this, because if I have to, for whatever reason, replace any of the villagers, I will struggle with that quite a bit, because of all this infrastructure and scaffolding I've built. It's just made my life so much easier. But you know what? It's got to go. It looks ugly, so we'll take this down, and then we'll get rid of the portal in the nether, and then we'll do maybe an AFK session just to see how efficient this farm is. And there we have it. The iron golem farms have been complete. We got all 3 layers set up. 1, 2, and finally 3. Got the collection system going. We can see that we got an iron golem right there. Oh, no, sorry, that's a sign. Oh, my bad. I thought that was an iron golem. Just so used to seeing so many of them just like flow into here. This was after a little bit of an AFK session. There's actually more back in my base I was pulling out as I was as I was going, I kind of returned, pulled some back, and threw it at replaced it back at my house. And with all this iron, we can now create a mob spawner, like a mob system. And because we are now in 1.13.1, the water flow is now optimized. I don't know if I mentioned in a previous episode, but that mob farm that I had created was incredibly difficult to use and very strenuous on the server because water in 1.13, the way that it flowed, was not optimized in 1.13. So this is 1.13.1, so that is all fixed now, and I'm just gonna demonstrate that before we call it an episode here today. You just gotta simply turn this on. Then we can just sit back and watch as the server doesn't die. We'll sit right here. So normally our FPS would drop significantly when the water would go, and the server would basically have a seizure. But it's all fine now. 1.13 is a lifesaver. It saved the server. Eventually the water will flow. I don't know if it has flowed already. There we go. You see it flows. And there you go. You saw that? Yeah, the server didn't die. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to pretty much call it for this episode here today, guys. I really appreciate you all tuning in. I know it was a much longer episode than what I have done in the past. And hopefully you stayed until the end and you enjoyed. If there's anything that you got questions about in terms of the iron farm, let me know in the comments below. I am working on a tutorial for an Enderman farm, the one that I built in the previous episode. So be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks and days, maybe. We're not sure yet. But anyway, thanks for watching once again. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.